Everyone knows about the History Channel, but I was just as surprised as you were seeing games made by the History Channel. Isn't the History Channel supposed to be for old people who are living in the past instead of us hip, cool gamers who just like shooting things for fun? I guess History Channel saw their niche and thought they could bring in the realism of history and combine it with the entertainment of video games. Well, it turns out the History Channel has actually made quite a few games, but the two I own on my PS2 and will be comparing today are Civil War: A Nation Divided, which released in 2007, and Battle for the Pacific, which released in 2008. I don't really know much about history, cause I'm mentally disabled, so I'll just be comparing how fun the games are as opposed to how historically accurate they are. Starting with Civil War: A Nation Divided, you can fight either as a Confederate or Union soldier. You already know what I went with, baby.
KKK all the way.
Well, it actually makes you play as both sides, so anyways. There are so many things wrong just in the first level. Here we go. You can't reload the pistol until you empty all your rounds, but you can reload the rifle even after just one shot, which makes no sense since the pistol is a revolver. The shooting mechanics are horrible and clunky, and the only way to be accurate is to stand there and shoot, which is supposed to be realistic for the time, but it's super boring and horrible to control. This guy that launched up into the air, the enemies that just stand there until you kill them. I can't tell if an enemy is dead because going prone looks the same as dying. The guy who gives you the explosives is just standing in the line of fire. These four guys are just standing here even though there's no enemies. I died by the same explosive twice since you can't see it and it kills you in one hit. You can never tell if your shot kills the person since their death animation is so delayed and slow, and the AI is as dumb as bricks. Not gonna lie though, this is one of the greatest cutscenes I have ever seen.
We hold that bridge, soldiers, or we won't be going home for Christmas. We'll be planted here till Judgment Day.
When can we get this started?
Everyone back home is counting on us. Now move! The Rebs have their reinforcements. We got no... Follow me or die where you stand.
Don't forget me.
You can still fight. Move!
Was that the game developers being self-aware at how bad their game was, or an attempt at making us feel empathy? I really hope it was the former. The AI is so bad in this game that I was able to manipulate them so hard during this one stealth level. First of all, who's this guy talking to, because he's not even looking at me? Look at how stupid the enemies are. You can shoot them from far away and they don't even care or move. Your friend just died and you did nothing? Apparently killing everyone is a way better option than doing stealth. So much of this game boils down to run here, then don't move as you kill waves of enemies. Move to the next area and repeat. It's so fun. The audio is so weird too. It'll just play random fighting sounds around you even if there's no enemies. It'll also just abruptly stop all the background noise whenever a person talks sometimes.
The sneaky bastards have infiltrated the woods, trying to attack our artillery from the rear.
The only redeeming quality about this game is the graphics. They look pretty good for a realistic game from the PS2 era, but everything else is a total mess. The only reason I got any enjoyment from this game is because of this video I made on it to showcase the game in all of its horrible glory, and also manipulating the AI was pretty fun at first. Next up, we have Battle for the Pacific. I'm hoping this game will be a bit better since it's a more modern military shooter, and I'm a sucker for first-person World War II shooters. All I'm hoping for is combat where I don't have to stand completely still shooting waves of enemies over and over. And it's the exact same shooting gallery as the Civil War game, isn't it? They really did nothing to change up the gameplay besides adding in new weapons and a World War II coat of paint. I don't know why I was expecting more, maybe just because I've played so many great first-person World War II games. The main difference from this game compared to the Civil War game is that the weapons shoot faster, which does help speed up the gameplay a bit, but that doesn't really make it much better. Even if you're a big history fan, you still won't get any enjoyment from this since there's no way that just one guy went in and mowed down like 100 enemies in one mission. The back of the box says it uses real models of guns, but why even bother if the game is going to put you in completely unrealistic scenarios? I'd rather have a game be less realistic and fun than more realistic and, well, this. I guess Battle for the Pacific couldn't manage either. It tries to vary up the gameplay a bit more than Civil War, but I think this boat turret section was even worse than the main gameplay. These planes literally did no damage to me the whole time. I think they were there just to pad out the game time. Yet again, there was another stealth part of this one mission, but I had a plan that actually worked.
Stealth is key to this mission.
I just ran past the enemies who were too stupid to do anything. Like, how did you not see me? I then proceeded to do that strategy on other levels where I would just run right through, only killing enemies that were directly in my path. This actually worked because the enemies can't kill you fast enough by the time you pass them as long as you're smart about how you move and who you kill. The gunplay in this game is just as clunky and tedious as it was in Civil War, so it was faster and more fun to try and outmaneuver the stupid enemies. The sound design is a lot better here though, with the realistic ting of the M1 Garand as it reloads and more realistic bullet sounds. The only reason it's better though is because it doesn't have bad cuts to dialogue. So, who wins in this Battle of the History Channel games? Civil War: A Nation Divided is the buggier and less finished game with a significant number of issues, but I did get a lot of enjoyment out of it simply because of how exploitable and buggy everything was. Battle for the Pacific was put together a little better, but it just felt completely uninspired and generic. It's trying to capitalize on the World War II genre, but fails to bring anything new to the table, and you're left with a broken mess that's not even broken in a fun way. Either way you look at it, both of these games are just clunky shooting galleries with extremely tedious and boring moment-to-moment gameplay. The only entertainment I was able to salvage out of these titles was by making my own fun by exploiting the AI and hoping for some entertaining bugs. With that said, the winner of this Versus series is...
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Civil War: A Nation Divided, simply because it was more entertainingly broken as opposed to being a generic World War II cash grab that happened to be broken. So I guess it's the better game because it's the worse game. I still don't recommend either of these games, but if you like seeing how much you can break a game, then Civil War: A Nation Divided is for you. Let me know if you like these Versus series videos down in the comments, and I can try and come up with more. So thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this in the future.